Hello, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Katie. I am the Introverted Reader. Thank you for being here. I'm tired, y'all. I'm tired. Like, I have a half a pound of makeup on my face to cover up the fact that she is tired. It's been a long week. But anyway, anywho, I'm gonna wrap up February in this video because I have read 6 books. They're right here. And I don't plan on finishing anymore because, again, I'm tired, I'm quite burned out, and I really just want to get these wrapped up and back on the shelf. And yeah, but despite the fact that my head feels like a giant, my brain feels like a marshmallow inside my skull, I did quite a bit of reading, and I loved, my reading journey this month. It's been great. It's been great. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take a drink of water. If you don't have water, go get some. Go get some. Pause the video and go get a drink of water. mm. Oh, yes, stay hydrated, people. It's important. Anyway, so let's just chat, shall we? Let's just get all of the reading out of the way. Put y'all down there. So yes, read 6 books, and I'm very happy. The first book I read was The Book of Blood and Roses by Annie Summerly. I love this book. I loved it. I have a full review of this on my channel if you want to go and watch it. It's a sapphic vampire romance, little bit of dark academia in there type situation. And yeah, it's amazing. It's really, really good. Basically about this girl who is a vampire hunter, and she goes on a mission into this university where humans and vampires coexist with each other because she wants to find out more about the vampires that killed her parents. So there's that. So yeah, 5 stars for The Book of Blood and Roses. And if you haven't read it yet, highly recommend you do. Go watch my review because I go a bit more in depth in my review. So yeah, watch that. So, and then the next book that I completed was Scorpion and the Night Blossom. Excuse me. I got something on my lip. Yeah, I know. It's all right. Hair on my lip. Scorpion and the Night Blossom by Emily Wen Zhao. This was a reread for me. I had already read it before, but with the sequel coming out, I wanted to reread it to get a refresher in my brain as to where we were. So this book, we are following our main character. What is her name? Oh, Anying? Anying. I think that's how you pronounce it. But if I'm pronouncing it wrong, please correct me in the comments. Those that are better with pronunciations than me. But anyway, so her and her family are going through some real hard times. Her father was killed by a demon, and he had trained her all her life to be able to fight against the demons. And since then, she's been working real hard to keep her family alive. Her mother is a shell of herself. But then she decides to go for these trials called the immortality trials. And basically what they are is you can compete in order to get a pill of immortality. And if she's able to get that, she can give it to her mom and cure her mom. And it says, as you open this one's for the C-drama girlies. And as a C-drama girly myself, I ate this up and then some. It's so beautifully written. And like, you are rooting for this woman all the way through this. And just everything that we love about C-dramas is in this book. And I cannot recommend it enough. I was very nearly crying by the end of it. I'd forgotten what a wild ride this book was, and I gave it 5 stars the first time, and I've given it 5 stars again. Like, honestly, Emily Wen Zhao hits it every single time. She really does. Hold on, let me see. We have a few books to get through. So that's 2 5-star thus far in the month of February. I was so happy. On the Kindle app that I have on my phone, because I don't have my Kindle anymore, RIP, I was reading Cruel is the Light by Sophie Clark, which is a story about an exorcist who works for the Vatican, and the love interest is a soldier, and basically they have to team up together because this high-ranking demon is frolicking about causing a mayhem. And to be honest, I couldn't really fully understand what was going on in this book. I'm gonna be real. It was meant to be young adult, and it definitely read that way, which isn't a read. All right, I love young adult. Do not get it twisted. Young adult books was what got me into reading in the first place when I was a young adult myself. Not so much anymore. I'm gonna be turning 34 soon, but and on that note, it definitely read like this book is for teenagers, and it reads as such. And that's not a bad thing because, like I said, I've read a lot of good YA, but at the same time I was reading it, it was just the way the characters were talking to each other. It was so over dramatic. And, she was all like, I'm beautiful and I'm deadly and I'm the butcher of Rome and I'm untouchable. My heart is a heart of stone. And he was just this, like, I don't know. Like, what was he? He felt a bit bland. He felt just a bit like, yeah, I'm a soldier. I'm from France. I'm snarky and handsome, and I've got dark hair that falls into my eyes. And I'm like, girl, can we stop? I got over halfway through it, and I was like, this is easy to read, and I guess it's fun. It's okay, but I just couldn't get into it, babes. I just couldn't get into it. But anyway, moving right along. I then read the first novella in Better in Black by Cassandra Clare. This is basically a novella collection featuring all of the couples within the Shadowhunter world. Got Will and Tessa on the front there. Love that. Love them. And yeah, the first story is called A Good Storm, and it's about Will and Tessa, and they are in Paris on their honeymoon. And it's real cute, they're just there doing their thing. Not much goes on. I mean, a little bit of something goes on. A little bit of something goes on, but it's very short. So when things start happening, they're over really quick. But you know what? I'm not mad. I like reading from these characters. I love the characters very much. And honestly, reading this, it genuinely makes me want to go back and reread all the Shadowhunter books again. Like, start from Mortal Instruments. Like, do you know what I really would like to do? Like, I would like to reread them all again, but read them in, like, publication order. So we get, because that's sort of the way you're sort of meant to read it. So if anybody would be interested in that, we could do, like, a read-along situation. How's that? That sounds like fun. That sounds like fun. Anyway, that's an idea for another time. But yeah, I gave this novella 4 stars. It was fun. It was cute. So that's those. And I mean, you're going to be seeing this in the next few TBRs and wrap-ups anyway. And then, oh my gosh, you guys, now we're getting to the good stuff. The next book that I read in the month of February, and I did not think I was going to be able to get this read, but I did, and it is Days of Blood and Starlight by Lani Taylor. Like I said, I do remember reading this series many moons ago when it came out, like in 2012, 2011? Oh, that's a long time ago. Fuck, I'm old. Yeah. But, there was something, obviously it's been that long, and like I said, she's getting old. She doesn't remember. And so reading this now, it felt like I was reading it for the first time because I genuinely remembered nothing. But y'all remember I read the first book, Daughter of Smoke and Bone, in January. Loved it. It's beautiful. It's about our main character, Karu, and she lives in Prague. She's an art student. She has blue hair. She has all these tattoos. And she lives a very eccentric life. And she has a very unique family. Her family aren't human. They are a race of creatures called Chimera, and they are at war with seraphim, or angels, essentially. And anyways, that's the first one. This one goes deep into said war with the Chimera and the Seraphim. And this is dark, this is brutal, this is violent. Like Lanny Taylor said, there is a war going on, and I'm not gonna gloss over it. Like, I'm not gonna gloss over it. Like, people are dying on both sides. There is just like it. Like this was grim a lot of times, but I kept on reading because even though a lot of it was just breaking my heart, I was just like, you just keep reading because you're just like, I want to know what's going to happen. I want to know how these creatures are going to survive. Are these two species ever going to find peace with each other? Like, so be wary of that when you're going into this. It's violent. There just very much descriptions of torture and injuries and innocents being massacred. It hit home a lot of times. Like reading this book that's like from 2012 definitely hit home a lot with what is happening in the world today, and that got me in my feelings. And as well, I want to say this. There is a very graphic attempted rape scene in this book. Chapter 71 to be exact. And I could not care less if anybody says that's a spoiler. Why would you say? I'm saying this to protect people. I'm saying that because if you, yes, you that's watching this wants to read this series, and I do highly recommend that you do because it's a beautiful series, be wary of that. And if you want to skip, if you get to that chapter and you want to skip over it or get the audiobook going that bit quicker when you're listening to it, then by all means do, because it's horrible. And I got teary-eyed while reading it, and I was just, oh, this book broke my heart. It was so sad and so grim, but it was so beautiful. So beautifully written. Lanny Taylor. Like, after Strange the Dreamer, has she come out with anything else? Because I need her to write more books, please. I'm so ready to get into Dreams of Gods and Monsters. I had to look it up there, so it's on the shelf up there. I had to look at, what's the name of you again? She's old and she forgets. But like this book, you guys, if I could give this 10 stars, I would. For real. It's so beautiful. I love it so much. Anyway, so then we moved on from grim. We've moved on from the grim, the darkness, to a really fun book, which it's probably my most anticipated release of this year. I was so happy when this arrived. Stone of Nightmares. It's Stone of Nightmares. It's Stone of Nightmares. It's Stone of Nightmares. Oh, as soon as, like, I got the special edition with the sprayed edges. But as you can see, they're completely covered with tabs, and I don't care. I frankly don't care, because as soon as I got this, I was like, I'm going to tab and annotate the mess out of this bad boy, and I did. So this is book 3 in Kerry Maniscalco's Prince of Sin series, and we are following Prince Sloth in this one. And basically, this whole book, right? This book is, if you love reading, if you love books, if you hold books and reading close to your heart, if sitting and reading a book gets you out of a bad mood, if it is your solace, if it is your happy place, read this. Like, literally, the dedication on this book, it says, for the bookworm who dreams of falling into the pages of their favorite fantasy world, this one is for you. Should I? Okay, so Prince Sloth. The beginning of this book, he is on a hunt for a particular book. It's called the Book of Nightmares. And basically, if said book falls into the wrong hands, bad things will happen. I don't want to say what the bad things are because I don't want to ruin it. And then he ends up coming across our main character, Lore, who lives in this village. She works in a library. She is a bookworm through and through. She loves books. She loves reading. She has a book club with all her friends. She's living this lovely, happy life in her little village with her brother and her parents. And then they end they somehow cross paths, her and this prince, and they go on adventures. They go on many an adventure. Now, I just want to show you, okay, because Prince Sloth has a library. Prince Sloth has a library in his court, and there's a picture of it in this book, and I want to show it to you because as soon as I saw this, I wanted to weep. Look at this. Look at this. Tell me you wouldn't want to live here. Tell me you wouldn't want to live here. I want to can I climb inside of this book and live in here, please? So, yeah. That's what this is really in a nutshell. This one doesn't have as much spice as the other ones. There is spice in here, don't get me wrong. There is spice. But it's like a little, there's a little sprinkle towards the end. There's a little bit. There's quite a bit at the end. Not as much as the other two. But when you read about Prince Sloth and you understand what kind of person he is and how he operates, then you get why. Like, I get why there's not as much. He's demisexual. I'm calling that. He's demisexual. Because demisexual people, obviously, on the spectrum, they're all like, they would only engage in that if they felt a strong connection between them and the other person. And it's not that he doesn't do it. He does, but it's just like a physical release. It's like stretching to him. Do you know what I mean? But then it's only whenever he meets her that he starts to feel the connection, that he starts to like, oh, okay. Yeah, I really feel it now. So yeah, I love this. It was so much fun. I devoured it like this was a cheeseburger book and I enjoyed every bite. There, I said it. There, I said it. Now, and the very last book that I want to talk to you about was an audiobook that I finally completed. I feel like I've been reading this book for 10 years, but we finished Ragpicker King. I finished it. Oh, I finished it. Like, I did my reread of Swordcatcher, and I finally did my read of Ragpicker King. And I'm so proud of myself of this accomplishment. I'd like to thank the Academy. I'd like to thank you all. It felt like such an achievement finishing this because it felt like I've been reading it for ages. Like, when did I start this? Did I start this? When? I can't remember. But yeah, I did it and I thoroughly enjoyed this. It was a great sequel. I'm very excited to see where book 3 is going to go. I don't even think we have a date yet for book 3. But there you go. But Swordcatcher is a story about a young man called Kel who gets brought into the palace when he's 10 years old, and he's basically told that he is going to be the prince's sword catcher, which essentially means he is the prince's bodyguard. He will be the prince's body double when they need him, and he is basically to dedicate his life to protecting the prince at all times. There's a whole bunch of other stuff obviously as well going on, but that's the gist of it. And the fact that I finally finished this now. The ending of this, I didn't know where it was going to go. It was a bit slow for a bit, and I was like, how am I going to rate this? Maybe a 4, maybe a 3.5. And then the ending happened and I'm like, oh, okay. It's a good solid 4. It's a good solid 4 stars. I had a great time, but it's not a 5 because there was a lot of getting to where we need to go, and it was not slow. It felt moderately paced, but all in all, great time, great sequel. I'm very much excited to see where book 3 is going to go. So let me turn you around. Let me see you. Anyway, those are all the books I read in February, and I feel like giving myself a pat on the back because February's a short month. Y'all know. I know we have about a week of it left, but again, I don't plan on finishing any more books. I really don't, because I've done a whole chunk of reading and I feel good about what I've read. So I'm just like, let's just wrap this up now so I can get it out the way. So let me know what y'all read in the month of February. Did you discover any new favorites? Have you read any of these that I mentioned in this video? Do you feel the same way as I do? What was your highly anticipated release of this year? Has it come out yet? Has it not come out yet? Let me know. Let me know all the things in the comments. Thank you to all that have newly subscribed. I appreciate you. Leave a like so the algorithm knows you like me. And if you are new here and you like what you're watching, you can subscribe. I'm getting closer and closer to 500 subscribers, so that's exciting. All my socials are down below. So Blue Sky, Instagram and Threads, and TikTok. Follow me on them if you want, no pressure. But yeah, hope you're having a good weekend. Love you all, and see you on Tuesday for another video. Bye.